This is Retirement Keys with Anthony Congemi from Crescent City Retirement Group. When a part of your financial strategy is out of tune, your long-term goals, your retirement savings, and your legacy can all suffer. With many years of experience in the financial industry, Anthony provides his clients and prospects with the information they need regarding Social Security, retirement income planning, wealth management, and much more. Listen in as we address your financial concerns and provide helpful solutions to put you on the path to achieving your retirement goals. And now, here is Retirement Keys with your host, Anthony Congemi.
So welcome. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Anthony Congemi with Crescent City Retirement Group, and we have another show today of Retirement Keys with our fabulous co-host, Mr. Tony Shore. We thank you so much for joining us. We do have a special guest today, but before we get to our guest, Tony, how are you and how have you been?
Oh, Anthony, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show today. I'm so excited. It is going to be a special show because you've got a special guest for us today, and I'm looking forward to that. I've had a crazy busy week, just a lot of things on the old honey-do list, but I'm really excited about our show and the special guest, Anthony. This is going to be a good one. How have you been?
Well, we have, closing out 2021. Let's face it, 2021 was a real crazy year probably for most, especially us down here on top of, COVID-related interruptions. Of course, we had that a major hurricane that came through in 2021. So 2021 was closing out. 2021 was interesting. It was a little bit more involved, especially the tax planning at the end of the year. Our small business owners have taken advantage of a lot of the tax planning ideas that are available to them. But it was a busy year, and then we kind of kicked off 2022. Tony, we've got just a great start to a new year, and we're really looking forward to 2022 being a much better experience than 21 was.
Well, yeah, and we got off to a rough start with the markets. There's been a lot of volatility, but I know you've been really busy, and there is a lot to look forward to, especially if you have a solid financial plan in place. But tell us about our special guest. Why don't you introduce him? I'm excited about this one.
Absolutely. So Danny Pfister is with us today, and Danny specializes in commercial lending for business owners. And we know that a lot of times, Tony, our business clients don't take advantage of the things that are available to them because they just don't know what's available to them in a lot of cases. I know that's true with retirement plans. When somebody's working for a big company, all of their benefits are laid out for them, 401ks and company matches and all these things to help shelter income and taxes and all sorts of benefits working for a large employer. But our business owners, our small business owners, certainly have tax retirement plans that can be very tax efficient. And there's also expansion and money that's available to them, Tony, and that's why we brought Danny on, because he is really has specialized for many years in commercial lending and for our business owner clients. And so we wanted to bring Danny on to talk to us a little bit about how that works and what's available for them.
Well, I'm excited. Danny, I'm looking forward to talking to you today.
Same here, Tony.
So, Danny, before we get started, let me ask you, tell us a little bit about your background in this.
Okay, well, first of all, let me tell you the name of my company, and I'm going to give you a phone number. And that way, if you have any clients that want to talk to me further about any situations they may have, I'll be glad to talk to them. I'm with Sunset Commercial Lending, LLC. My phone number is 504-583-0473. Or you can call Anthony's office and they'll be glad to connect me with your clients or any new clients that you may have. My experience in commercial lending goes back about 45 years, and I have assisted many clients throughout the metropolitan area, helped them with their needs, and on some of them, difficult cases where they would have to go back to me and we would form a plan to try to get them approved for their business expansion, a building, or other needs that they may have. Right now, the banks have they have low rates right now, most of the banks, but they time as far as their terms are maybe 5 years fix with a 20-year amortization, whereas my program is a 30-year fix. And also, we can help the customer with their problems when they come up, and also, with the documentation they need and so forth.
Well, Danny, let me ask you a question. Very good, and thank you for being with us. So, what would you say are some of the primary? Over the years, you've helped a lot of your clients with funding. What were your business clients? What would you say are some of the primary? And you touched on a couple of them, but what would you say some of the primary usages of the funds you've seen?
Well, the commercial customer may want to buy a building. Right now, he's renting. And it might be at his advantage to buy a building because of the tax reasons for that. Or they may want to expand to buy other buildings if they own one right now.
Right.
And another thing could be maybe vehicles or machinery and so forth.
Right. So it's really an opportunity a lot of times for expansion, maybe purchasing a building. Very good. And so let me ask you this. Why do you feel that this is a good time for this type of funding?
Right now, the rates are very low, and I know that the rates are probably going to start going up sometime this year because the Fed's already mentioned that. And I think if they want to do something, now's the time to do it, and then also the properties that they want to buy are probably in areas where it may be conducive for them to want to expand. And that's maybe one of the reasons. So.
Right. Very good. So expansion, of course, rates are low. And you did mention that, and I didn't know this, but you mentioned that a typical loan at a bank typically is like a 5-year fixed, and then it's amortized over
20 years.
20 years. Whereas the lenders that you work with,
they have 30-year fixed rates, and depending on the amounts start at $250,000, and they go all the way up to $30 million, and that's basically. And then I have some other products that will go higher than that.
Yeah, that's very good. Well, Tony, I tell you, and I mentioned this in the beginning of the show, but I really, feel that the more, business owners that we work with, especially with the retirement plans, there's so many, tax advantaged retirement plans, whether it be 401ks or SEP IRAs, different types of structured plans for tax savings,
Sure.
These loan opportunities. I mean, I just find that, a lot of times you've got business owners that are, really good at what they do, and they're building their business and they're growing, but there's opportunities out here that they just may not be aware of.
Right. And it sounds like that. I mean, it sounds like there are great opportunities, especially because of the low interest rates. I mean, you mentioned that. I mean, it now seems like a great time. Right, Danny? I mean, I bet low interest rates have really made, especially like a 30-year fixed, very viable and popular.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right about that, because now's the time to do something if they want to really look into doing a commercial loan because of the fixed rate and also because the rates are at an all-time low right now.
So, Danny, what about the underwriting? I mean, how does that work?
On the underwriting, it all depends. Now they use credit scores. There's 3 credit scores they use: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And normally on the credit scores, my particular lenders, they go as low as 650. That's the middle score they use. And that's basically what they look at. Plus, they look at the cash flow of the business, the time in the business, and a few other factors.
So you help your clients through the underwriting process and kind of the preliminary, if you will, underwriting to prepare the documents.
Yes, what I do is I look at the business, I look at the person, I look at all the financial information, and I put a program together so we can submit it to my lenders. And that way, 9 out of 10 times, we'll usually get approved.
You kind of know what they're looking for.
Right.
Right. Yeah, Tony, like I say, I mean, we do shows all the time about, really just, for our business owner clients taking advantage of the opportunities out there. And I can't help but think that, because there's so much available in terms of funding at this time, and interest rates are historically at an all-time low. If you were a business and you were looking for expansion, whether it be purchasing buildings or remodeling what you have, or adding more staff or trucks or whatever it might be, just in any type of expansion, this could be an opportunity.
Yeah. It's a huge opportunity for businesses to really expand, and I think now is the time. You got to strike while the iron's hot, and they really feel like COVID the symptoms are decreasing as it goes, and so I think eventually here we're going to be getting back to normal, and you want to be prepared for that. And with the economy, I think it will pick up, and there's going to be changes coming in the future. So I think that's good, and especially to take advantage of lower interest rates before the Fed gets in there and mucks about with those. So, again, great, and I think what you do there is great. You're really helping out a lot of businesses, Danny, and I know that you've been doing this for a while. And so anybody out there who owns a business, whether you're a small, medium, or large-sized business owner listening to the show, you might want to give Danny a call. Danny, before we take a break here, why don't you give our listeners that number again and information on how they can reach you?
Yes, Tony. My direct line is 504-583-0473, and I'm with Sunset Commercial Lending, LLC. Or they can call Anthony's office, and they can have them contact me, and I'll be glad to talk to any clients or any future clients that Anthony may have.
All right. Anthony, did you want to add something there before the break?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just appreciate you tuning in. We want to bring you, again, as much as we can as it relates to retirement planning, business expansion, tax savings opportunities. So we just appreciate you tuning in to Retirement Keys, and we look forward to joining you here at our next segment.
All right. Yep, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Retirement Keys and our host, Anthony Congemi, right after this.
You've been listening to our shows and advice on getting your finances in order and creating a retirement income plan that will last. Now is the time to take advantage of our special offer. This is Anthony Congemi of Crescent City Retirement Group, and we're now offering a complimentary gourmet dinner and retirement planning workshop, the 5 Keys to a Stress-Free Retirement. This is one workshop you won't want to miss. Call in the next 20 minutes for this no-cost offer. Seating is limited. Call Crescent City Retirement Group within the next 20 minutes at 504-828-2171. That number again is 504-828-2171.
And welcome back to Retirement Keys. I'm your co-host, Tony Shore. I'm here with our host, Anthony Congemi, and great show today. We have a special guest on the show today, and that makes this show really special, and it's really timely. And we've got Danny Pfister and a commercial lender talking on the show today about why now might be a great time and about this process. So, Anthony, I know you have a few more questions for Danny, right?
Yeah, thank you, Tony. So Danny, very good. So great information so far. So talk to us a little bit about some of the primary purposes that you see your clients utilizing the funding for.
Okay, Anthony. Yeah, mostly the client will either buy a new building or they'll expand the existing building. They'll buy commercial equipment or machinery for the business, and also hire additional employees, maybe pay off the old debt that's a high rate.
Yeah.
And that's basically what they primarily do.
What you see there. Yeah,
Right.
debt consolidation, lowering the rate. Yeah, all that's very good. And you had mentioned during the break about the owner and the resume of the owner. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, that's very important, because if the owner has a long resume, is long in business, he needs to express that when he goes to the lender to make a loan. And by that I mean, if he has, say, 20 years in his particular business, he needs to elaborate on that and show them what he has done in the past and what he has planned for the future. And that's basically...
So the lenders really look at that experience heavily.
Right. And so another thing, too, is when they go into a local bank, they want to make sure that the local bank, they want accounts, open accounts. And if they are going from another bank to a new bank, they may want to have the customer open another account with them and close the other account out. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't require checking accounts or business accounts. I just look at the loan itself, and the people who I deal with, they don't require having business accounts also.
Yeah, that's a good point. So in other words, the relationship they have with their banking relationship, local, let's say, banking relationships that they have with their business accounts, checking accounts, or whatever else it might be at the local bank, they keep all those relationships intact. They don't have to disrupt any of that.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's good. All right, well, talk to us a little bit about what rates you're seeing right now, Danny, on these 30-year fixed rates. Talk to us a little bit about rates and also cost. What does it cost?
Okay, as far as the rates right now, depending on the client's credit score, if his middle score is over 720, he could possibly get rates fixed for 30 years at, say, 4.75. And depending on if the score is lower, then the rates will go up a little higher. The cost involved, there's an underwriting fee, there's an appraisal fee, there's attorney fees to close the transaction, and sometimes there are points involved. And that's basically what you're looking at, as far as the fees.
And all that's pretty transparent. I mean, you know what the fees are going in.
And I'll go ahead and explain that to the client and give him a list of what the cost is going to be before we start the process.
And then help me again with this, a typical commercial loan of 5 years with this amortization. So we're saying that 5 years fixed, but then we're really not sure what the rates might look like in the future. which is scary. I mean, if all of a sudden rates could really jump up, then that could be cost prohibitive. But in your case, you're saying that these rates are fixed.
That's correct. And also, my loans are assumable. So the banks, they don't have assumable loans. I can have the loan assumable if they want to sell in the future, and they'll have the same rate, and all they have to do is pay the difference of the sales price. If they want to, if the new client comes in and wants to buy the building.
Wants to buy the building or whatever it might be, they could just assume the loan.
Right. At the existing rate.
At the existing rate. Well, that's a great point. Yeah, I would just say to our business owner clients out there that, lending and having good products, financial institutions that do these types of loans, let's face it, not all products are created equal. And so having an experienced commercial lender in your corner, helping you with really the best product that you can, utilize, or at least one of the best, is going to be helpful. If you're in that position where you're looking to expand and maybe take advantage of the funding that's out there and the rates that are out there. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, and I think this is really critical for businesses out there. And you know what, Danny, for our listeners out there, if they're business owners and are interested in this, what's the process like? They just need to call you up and set up a time to meet with you?
That's correct. And then I'll go through the initial interview. On the initial interview, I'll discuss their credit requests, get their possible credit scores, collateral, their experience in their particular field, and as much information I can obtain. And then usually after 5 or 10 minutes, I'll know whether I can help these clients or not.
Are there different lenders, Danny, depending on the makeup of the client, their financials or what they're looking to do? You'll have different lenders depending on, who might be the best fit?
Yes, and also I wanted to mention, too, I forgot to mention this, I do have some programs that we don't look at income, we look at credit scores only. And that's on commercial, and that I don't think any local banks will do that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, very good. So really you're originating, if you will, the front end of the loan, determining, what the client might need and what the situation is, and then trying to pair them with the lenders that would be the best fit for that particular situation.
That's correct, Anthony.
Yeah. Very good.
That's great. So, Danny, you know what? We're almost out of time, but why don't you let our listeners know, again, your company name and the phone number so they can get a hold of you to set up that meeting?
Okay, Tony. I'm with Sunset Commercial Lending, LLC. The phone number where they can reach me at is 504-583-0473.
Very good. Well, Danny, thank you so much for this information. We really appreciate you coming on the show. As you know, we, for our listeners, we really feel strongly about the 5 keys to a stress-free retirement. Obviously, estate and legacy planning, healthcare planning, investment strategies, income planning, and tax reduction strategies are really key. And if you're a small business owner, a lot of times there are programs available, whether it be retirement plans that could be set up for tax reduction strategies for accumulating wealth for the future. Certainly there's lending opportunities out here, especially now with these rates being as low as they are and the money supply being as available as it is. So we just encourage you to grow your business, expand your business. This is an opportunity to do it, and we want to be a good partner every step along the way.
All right. Great show today, guys. And again, thanks for coming on the show, Danny. Anthony, great special guest that you brought on today. But listeners, that does it for today's episode of Retirement Keys with our host, Anthony Congemi. Thank you for listening to Retirement Keys. Don't pay too much for taxes or retire without a sound income plan. For more information, please contact Anthony Congemi at Crescent City Retirement Group. Call 504-828-2171 or visit the website at crescentcityretirement.com. All matters discussed during this show are for informational purposes only. Each individual situation may vary, and the opinions expressed here may not apply to everyone. Materials presented are believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations can be made as to its accuracy. All ideas and information should be discussed in detail with one of our qualified representatives prior to implementation. Anthony Congemi and Crescent City Retirement Group are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency.
You've been listening to our shows and advice on getting your finances in order and creating a retirement income plan that will last. Now is the time to take advantage of our special offer. This is Anthony Congemi with Crescent City Retirement Group, and we're now offering our 3-step retirement planning process at no cost and a $100 gift card to the restaurant of your choice upon completion of the planning process. Call Crescent City Retirement Group within the next 20 minutes at 504-828-2171. That number again is 504-828-2171.